Hi, my name is Phillip Warrick, and welcome to my first deal, which ultimately led to millions. In this podcast, we explore the pivotal first deals in real estate and business that define what type of investor you are. Whether it was a deal that inspired you the most or a challenging one from which you learned valuable lessons, each story is unique. We interview very successful investors, local real estate groups, business moguls, authors, and celebrities from all over the world, providing inspiration and insight, whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out. Today, we've got a very special guest, my friend, Jose Garcia, real estate investor, coach, and mentor, also known as the Trailer Park King. Jose is an Amazon best-selling author of Trailer Park King, How to Become a Mobile Home Millionaire. Jose is a leading voice in the field of affordable housing and has carved a niche for himself by focusing on often overlooked sector of real estate investing, and that is mobile homes. His mission is driven by two major forces: increasing awareness and understanding of mobile home investments and a viable aerial estates strategy, and contributing to a larger societal aim of providing affordable housing options for those in need. Jose, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you for having me, and thank you for that beautiful introduction.
You're welcome, man. You're doing some amazing things. I love watching what you're doing and seeing all of your tours at the mobile home parks that you do with your students and your mentees. And man, I'd love to hear a little bit about how you got started, because really this show is dedicated to people who are either getting started or have already started and want to take their investment business to the next level. But it's always fun to focus on, hey, what got you started? Tell us about that first deal that you did.
Lack of funds, lack of connections, lack of knowledge. The three failures to life in business, anyway. No, man, I was in corporate America for many years. Thought climbing that ladder was the way to, and it is not. Very, very quickly, I figured that out. I always wanted to venture into something, own something. And I tell this to different stories. I actually remember Googling how to get rich. That was I just curious to teach me something. And it was just funny reviewing over and over different things. But one of the things I kept seeing was real estate, real estate, real estate. So in my mind, I thought, well, real estate's where it's at. Obviously, like I said, the three failures to life, I had all the above. So, buying a house, houses like you buy, investing in wasn't in my cards. It just wasn't there. And of course, traveling, getting into these RIAs, real estate meetups, somebody mentioned do it with mobile homes. I lived in a mobile home. I never rehabbed a mobile home, but I thought, well, it's got to be similar to or like it. Let's go for it. Called numerous people. Of course, I started Googling, searching where are mobile homes located. And of course, mobile home parks. At the time, it was called trailer parks. Nobody calls them trailer parks no more, but mobile home communities. And I started calling them. Basically, I make a joke. I would love to go back and hear my pitch. I'm sure it was terrible because I got so many no's. But finally, a yes came. So a park owner said, "Sure, I got a couple that have been sitting there forever. Come and check them out if you want to buy them," kind of thing. And that was my first key too. About 30 minutes from where I live. Next day, sharp and early, I was there on time, like you need to be, ready to check these what I thought would be change my future, my life, and it did. I was there, junkers of every which way. But to me, I saw opportunity, and of course, one that I could afford because that was my mentality thinking at that time.
Very cool. Very cool. And you know what? I just realized and remembered that I haven't told this much, but the first real estate deal that I did was actually a mobile home. And
Really?
yeah, it really was. And there was a mobile home park on the street behind my dad's office. And I don't remember, I probably was 18 or 19. I was just out of high
Oh,
school. I'd been studying the home study course, how to buy houses with no cash, no credit.
mm,
I drove through that park and there was a for sale by owner sign, on the window of a rundown trailer. And I remember I called it and this thing was a mess. It was nasty. Like right when you walk in the door, the floor was rotted out and kind of like caving in. If I remember right, man, I ended up buying that thing for like $800, just cleaned out the trash and ended up flipping it, sold it, and I don't know, tripled my money, right? That was really my first deal that I actually did in real estate. So
momentum is what it built.
that's right. That's right. That's where it all kind of started. That was back in, man, it must have been 1999 or the year 2000. So over 24.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Okay, okay.
cool, pretty cool. So besides Googling, hey, how to get rich, what motivated you to pursue that first deal?
Uh, always trying to grow. I mean, to me, it's always, and we've learned this over the years. We follow the same, obviously, coaches, mentors, and it's like, it's not money, it's freedom. I don't like to be tied down or ask permission. Can I take my family on a vacation? That hurt me a lot and missed out on so many opportunities. Again, trying to climb that ladder quickly, I realized, yeah, it's a job, but it's not where I'm supposed to be. That this is not where it's gonna, this is not my life. So I always try to venture into how do I create an additional income, passive, to just kind of grow. So my why had a lot of family, followed by, they say you can have a lot of time and no money, or no time and money kind of thing. And it's, I don't believe in that. I think there's a good balance out there if you can, figure that out. So to me, it was freedom and family.
Very cool. Very good. That's impressive. And I think that's the goal for a lot of people getting into real estate, right? How to create that cash flow. And to me, I don't know about to you, but financial freedom to me means that we have more income coming in from our investments, passive income per se, than we do monthly expenses, right? So once our income is higher than our expenses, to me, that's financial freedom, right? Once it's coming in
Mhm.
from passive investment. So the big question a lot of people getting started have is like, how did you finance or how did you fund that first deal that got you started?
Yeah, well, like I said, buying houses was in my to do, just because of the funds I didn't have, excess money sitting there for connections. So mobile homes makes it easy for anyone. And I tell anyone who's an investor or entrepreneur, don't leave whatever asset or investment you invest in if it works. But I think everybody should. I'm going to sound like a salesman here for a second. It's like everybody should invest in mobile homes because it's so easy, and it's not even it's not even I don't even look at it as a product. Or, it's a problem solving that we're doing. You said mobile homes are affordability, and today it's the last of affordability housing. Apartments, houses, condos that are scaling, less people being approved, etc. Mobile homes is just such an easy entry when it's so low. You said you bought one for $800 back in 2000 or 99. I buy those for 800 or less today because again, this is, and there's problems from every angle that you come in and solve. A park owner owns the land. They don't care about the mobile home. They don't care about a whole lot, and the less they have to manage, the better. So when we come in and say, I'm willing to buy this junker that makes your community look ugly and it's costing you money, I'm problem solving from the get go. Now, obviously, I'm not going to offer you a diamond or some beautiful numbers for this here, but here's what I can do. So getting into mobile homes is a lot less entry all around.
Love it. I love it. That's awesome. And what about mobile home parks? Have you ventured off into acquiring parks as well? Or are you still just focusing on like, one mobile home at a time kind of thing?
So we focus more on bundles. I mean, we'll take in 20, 30 mobile homes inside of communities at a time. We don't really do onesies. We will if they're out there. But I did buy two parks 2 years ago. Sold both of them last year. They, my niche, what I like is the residents, the individuals, the relationships I have business wise with park owners. Owning a park in itself, it's a great thing, but it's a lot of responsibility. And we're back into a lot more entry.
Okay, I gotcha. So let me ask you this, and I do mainly single family residential, right? I've
Mhm.
done a few mobile homes over the years, and typically I would buy these on terms like where they had a good monthly payment. I could take over the payments and turn around and do a lease with the option to buy or seller finance that on a wrap to the next guy. And I've done a handful of those, right? But haven't really focused primarily. It's just if the lead comes across my desk, I'll do it. But what would you advise a successful real estate investor that already has a portfolio of single family rental homes? Would you still say that mobile home parks is a viable option for them to add to their investment strategies?
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, it's just one more thing you can, and it's real estate. If a park is considered real estate versus the mobile home personal property, like a vehicle, car. But again, the security is there. One thing that's not going to go away anytime soon is the need for affordability housing. And mobile homes is where it's at. So, I mean, these mobile home parks, if they're not 100% at all times, something is off. For an investor like yourself, you're a veteran in the real estate world. I mean, that's just one more thing you can take on And it's very similar. I mean, it's instead of a piece of parcel with a house, now you got a parcel with a bunch of them. So that's multiplication of income coming in.
Love it. Love it. I love that, man. And, what about the fact that, the way I explain this to sellers or potential home buyers is, why would you want a mobile home over a residential house that's appreciating, when mobile homes typically they depreciate right down to like the value of a car, right? I've heard that kind of juxtaposition a lot, right? It's like a car, it depreciates in value. So what do you say to that?
From you say when you advise a homeowner.
Yeah, or just what do you say to the fact that, mobile homes are typically a depreciating asset, right? They go down in
Sure.
value as opposed to up. Um,
Well, there's a clientele. I mean, obviously affordability. People, everybody needs a roof over their head, and some people will not afford a house, one of your houses. That it's just not in their cards. So,
right.
so for them, to them, is the ability to say, I can own this mobile home and own my home. Does it depreciate? Yes, they're very much like vehicles. And one thing I advise investors is, I don't care if there's a Kelly Blue Book somewhere that says my mobile home is worth $1 or 100,000. If it's bringing me $600-700 monthly passive income, I could care less what the value is. Now there is a strategic that you can do with a mobile home if you put it on individual land where it actually appreciates, because then it's considered real property.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like that. That's a good strategy. And what about like financing these deals? Is this like heavily cash? Like if you had the opportunity, let's say, to buy a package of 13 mobile homes, like how would you finance that in today's market? Is there a certain lender that loans against these types of deals, or do you have to self fund or private money?
Yeah, that there's no banks, there's no credit unions, that they're not even going to look your way. It's going to be a very quick conversation with a no. So yeah, that's where you bring partners. If you have the funds, get it. I mean, or private hard money lenders, get them to understand, like any deal. If it's a deal, checks out, it's a deal regardless of the product. So, but there is no traditional lending for the mobile homes we invest in.
Okay, I gotcha. So yeah, I'm sure you teach a lot about this and the different strategies to your students, right? And so we'll be able to leave that information down below for them. How did your first deal really compare to your expectations, and what did you learn from that experience?
Well, I almost quit multiple times because I thought I had got me another job. I learned very quickly that I had it. If I had it, if it was meant to be, it's up to me. So what JT say. So uh, that first mobile home taught me more than any book will, as life does. So I ended up having to rehab it myself. Couldn't get nobody to work. Nobody wanted to do anything. So through the process, more and more, I thought this is just not meant to be. That's not what this is why most people don't do this kind of thing. But it was a gratifying moment when there was a tenant that was interested in getting that, first payment that, that exceed now everything I was aiming for, because I was like, I get to help somebody out. That affordability housing is like solution that I was able to offer. So it grew, it fueled me.
Yeah, and it is addicting, right? And like, there's no doubt, like looking at you, you're putting in the work, right? You're out there every single day doing the business. And that's what I do as well, right? And sometimes like what we see on social media is just the glamour and the fun and the parts of the success, because that's what it's designed to do, right? It's designed to help inspire people to take action. But if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? And
Mm,
if we quit at every sign of struggle, we wouldn't have lasted, right? I've had plenty of ups and downs and challenges over the years. And looking back now, 23 years full time, 21 years, and
wow.
people only see the success that they see now, but they don't see those 20 plus years of toil and sweat, blood and tears, right? And the successes and failures and everything in between. And you mentioned something just a minute ago that really struck with me is, with JT, right? Real estate and these deals aren't learned in books, on Zoom, and
Mhm.
seminars, even on podcasts like this, right? It's actually learned out in the field doing the business. Whether it's you doing the business or shadowing, right? Somebody that's actually out there doing and teaching the business so that you can learn from their mistakes, right? And speed up your success. And I know you do a lot of that with your students, right? You have days where you take people out to these parks and y'all tour properties and things like that. And so I'd love for people to be able to connect with you, right? And just to kind of be able to learn more about what you're doing and where they can find more information about everything that you offer. So What's the best way, Jose, that they can connect with you to get more information, to learn from you, maybe partner with you or bring you deals?
Absolutely, for sure. They can always email us, the letter J, at Garcia, MHU.com. Me or one of our admins will communicate with them in any way we can help. Absolutely. That's what we do. Giving back. That's great.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, cool. So we'll put links down below so that people can connect with you easily and get that information. So anything that you want to share, just send that over and we'll put it there when we post this up for everybody. What life business tips do you have for listeners today?
Life business tips. Procrastination kills success. And I've had my fair share. Let me think about it. Think too long, you think wrong. That's the way I believe. Sometimes
Oh,
can get you in trouble to say yes and figure it out later, but I've had better success by doing that method than standing in the sideline. So take action. Educate yourself as much. Listen to feel stuff. You're always throwing tips, suggestions out there. It's like you pick little nuggets where you can't educate yourself, but you got to implement. Take action.
absolutely. And this reminds me of something that I'm going to get with you later and see if the need is still available. But I did have a guy with, he owns like 13 mobile homes inside of a little mobile home park. And after the hurricane that went through here, he was having trouble fixing up because no insurance covered it. Right. And so
Mm,
I'm going to reach back out to him and see if that deal's still available. If it is, you interested in partnering up,
check it out.
something together with it? Awesome. Awesome. So I'll, like I said, I'll look into that and hopefully procrastination didn't kill that deal. So anyway, so I appreciate you being on the show, guys. And today, that's a wrap for today's show. A huge thank you to Jose for joining us and sharing his invaluable insights. If you're intrigued by my journey to my first real estate deal, or you want to see extra footage from our interviews with other incredible guests like Jose, be sure to check out the link in the comments. Just click and leave your thoughts. Additionally, if you're looking for funding for your deals, or you have deals in capital that you'd like me to consider, or if you're interested in seeing what we do firsthand at my office, all the information you need is right below in the link. If you know someone who'd be a fantastic guest for this podcast like Jose was today, your introductions are always welcome. Please do us a huge favor. Like and share this podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It makes a big difference. Your reviews are especially appreciated and help us to reach more aspiring investors. We'll be back soon with more insights and stories on your first real estate deal on the way to millions. This is Phillip Warrick and Jose Garcia signing off. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks again, Jose. Appreciate you being here.
We do.
Great job, man.
And that's a wrap for the show here today. If you'd like to hear my story and how I did my first deal and extra footage from other people that I interview, there will be a link in the comment. Just click the link on the comment as well. In addition, if you'd like for me to fund your deals, or you have some deals or capital that you'd like to fund for me, or if you'd like to be able to come to my office and check out exactly what we do every single day, the link is below. But that's it for today. If you also know and want to introduce me to people that would be great for me to interview on this podcast as well, that's always welcome. So do me a huge favor while you're still here, like and share this podcast on Spotify or Apple. It really helps out a lot, especially giving us a review. And we really appreciate everyone here today. We'll see you on the next time on your first real estate deal on the way to millions. All right, this is Phillip Warrick, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.